behind just marketing in general, whether it's Facebook ads or Yelp ads or offline marketing, whatever, print, whatever it is that you want to do, and the type of expectation that you should see in terms of an ROI or a return on ad spend itself. So I'm just going to pull up our account here, what we've done for our ad campaign, right? And I'll go a little bit more into other service businesses and different types of things as we go along here. Hopefully I don't make this such a long video like my other ones, but there's always lots of good information for us to share and insights and try to help people really understand what's a realistic expectation. So let's see, September 22nd until today, right? Boom. Yeah, okay, there we go. Look at that. 313, 14 leads here. $1,500 ad spend. Okay, so the biggest, how do I say this? The biggest issue that we see are a lot of people when they contact us, and I have touched on this in the past, is they say that they want some ridiculous return on ad spend, right? 100x, 20x, 15x, 30x. And again, it's not to say that it's not impossible to achieve these, but you want to have a realistic expectation given the industry that you're in and the type of service or product that you provide. Now, let's focus on a service business, right? Let's take our company, for example, right? Awareness Digital. People that have followed us, that watch our videos, know that we specialize in helping businesses scale from zero to pretty much wherever they want to go, right? Through branding, build out, proper marketing strategy, solving process problems, profit problems, things like this. So we provide a service that is, our knowledge, our experience, our infrastructure, our business team, and that results in us being a higher end type of service, right? We're not cheap by any means. So we can run an ad. So let's take this, right? We're doing the free logo touch-up, right? So that's allowed us to get into a lot of different industries. The whole point behind us running something for free, right? Because a lot of people say we can't afford to give something for free, right? We can't do this, we can't do that. It's not that you can't or that you shouldn't. It's just that people, they're scared, right? Because you want to convert, you want to make a lead, you want to make money. Yeah, we all want to do that. But the thing is when it comes to Facebook ads, when you're in a service-based business, for someone to really do an impulse buy or say, yeah, let's buy it, you really have to have your services under $100, right? And there aren't a lot of services out there that come to my mind that are under really $100. Right? Look at our company, look at a cleaning company, look at HVAC, look at plumbing, electrician, look at what else? Kitchen installation of kitchen cabinets, or people that lay flooring, construction. All these different types of services. I would say 95% or let's be conservative, say 90% of service businesses cost at least $100 or more for them to carry out their service for a particularly interested client. So, if you look at what we've spent here, right, we have $1,535.75 that we've spent since September 22nd until today. We've generated 313 leads over this time period. And it's all, we've had to do a lot of free work in terms of improving people's logos to the best we can. We've maybe only been able to improve 12% of the logos, maybe 15%. And the rest haven't been, retouchable, if that makes sense, right? We haven't been able to just slightly improve them. They've needed to really go back and do it from scratch, right? And so we're able to, hopefully close a sale through, sorry for the background noise, there's some construction outside the office here. They then realize that, hey, they had an experience with us. They were able to interact to see what we know. We offer, our free consulting session. So the point I'm trying to make here is when you're a service business, and if you don't offer a service that's under $100, you're going to have to be more flexible in terms of what you're willing to give away for free in order to show that you're an authority and you know what you're doing. So lots of times in the forums that we're part of, and we see other people that do Facebook ads for people just like we do, right? There's plenty of work out there for everybody, but it's trying to get through that that cloud of what's real and what's not. I remember there was a thread that we had put on one of our Facebook. Yeah, and then one of the videos that I did, there was a thread, there was a conversation that was going on, and someone had said that they generate a message for $1.30 or something like this, right? $1.30. So you can see here our cost per result, $3.57 for this campaign, $5.52, right? That's amazing considering that our most expensive package is $8,000. So, you know, we would be willing to spend even more if we had to, just because of all the different types of things that we offer, and they're higher end. But anyways, back off topic here. Back to this comment section. Someone had claimed that, well, I'm getting, you know, I spent $700 in ads and I generated $22,000 in sales. So what's really misleading about this is 98% of the time, these people are coming in, booking maybe an initial job because they have a certain low price, right, that maybe even under $100, right? Or, hey, we'll come out to your house and we'll do a free estimate on a residential job, for example. So you have certain companies that take advantage of that, because when you get into someone's house, when you get into your customer's house and you get to interact with them face to face, there's a higher likelihood that they might just service you, you know, they might book your service that same day, or maybe they'll book you out a few days, but at least they got to associate your face, they got to have the branding and the customer experience, you got to do a walk house, they could judge you in terms of how knowledgeable or how knowledgeable you aren't, and then you can begin your upselling process, right? Whereas when, you know, if you are that higher service end, right, and you want someone to book a job now with you, and let's say you have a minimum of, I don't know, $160, $150, anything over 100, people think, even 120. I know there's a campaign they're running for somebody right now out in Pennsylvania, and we're starting to generate leads for them. And one of the people said, hey, we want to hire you, but we're working to get the money together, right? And this was for 3 rooms for $120. Right, like $120, like that's, you know, in times like we're in right now, the pandemic, you know, people gotta save every penny they can, right? And you have to understand that that's a process for these people. So, back to the example where, you know, I'm getting I spent $700 in ad spend and I closed $23,000. Yeah, but that's not happening over the Facebook chat in itself. Usually it's they're drawn in through like a really amazing offer, which you have to be careful with that, because that can be known as bait. You could be seen as a bait and switcher. So you're running a real risk of them not using you. And even if they originally booked you for like a $70 thing, you do an amazing job at upselling, right? Because that's what a lot of these people are doing. They're going there and they're upselling, either over the phone or, you know, the majority of the time they actually have to get to that customer's house and say, hey, look, I saw this, I think you should do this, and they do a big sales pitch to try and upsell. There's nothing wrong with upselling. We upsell all the time. You just have to be careful that your advertisement doesn't, you know, make you come off as a bait and switch person, right? That's why for what we're doing for our type of campaign, you know, we just do a free logo touch-up, right? Because we're not going to sit there and bait and switch something. Either we can improve your logo a little bit, or we can't. We can tell you what we're able to do to really transform your brand. Yeah, that has a cost, but I'm not bait and switching. And we clearly make that understood on our landing page. So you know, I just want people to understand that don't get sucked into all these Facebook gurus or so-called gurus are promising that, oh, I'm going to get you 20x ROAS, or I'm going to get you 50 or 80. I think that's not realistic unless you're high end, like what we sell. We sell $8,000 package things, $3,000, $5,000, $1,000. You know, we're going to have a higher ROAS, even though we're going to have to spend more, but we won't see that probably for up to 6 months. I mean, there was a person that had been following us for a couple of years before they decided to pull the trigger on a big package like that. So the more expensive your services are, the longer your sales cycle is going to be. So going back to the example, take a return on ad spend for what it is in the moment that a lead comes in and you book something at that point, right? So it can be really skewed and can be kind of difficult to see it clearly. But a lot of people are grouping that, oh, I got, you know, $1.50 per message, and I ended up spending, you know, I talked to a shit ton of people, went through tons of different messages, and I ended up spending $700 in ad spend on that, but I was able to close $22,000. Yeah, but they weren't closing that on the Facebook ad itself. They were in these people's homes upselling like you wouldn't believe, right? And again, I think it's a great strategy if you're really good at upselling and you're upselling in the right way, right? Where you generally can explain to the customer that if they take on service 2, 3, and 4 that you offer, they're ultimately going to save more money, X amount of money over the next 12 months than if they waited any longer, right? So if you're able to upsell in the right way where you're actually saving them more money and you're getting a bigger ticket, that's perfect. That reduces your chances that they're going to have that sour taste, like, oh, you sucked them in with a $100 special for 3 rooms and then they ended up paying you $500 as you left. Then you won't have that bait and switch in their heads, because as long as you explain why you're upselling these services, how actually that $500 they're spending with you now is actually going to save them thousands, because like it's at that point to where if they didn't take care of, let's say, their upholstery now, they might have to replace the upholstery and a couch could cost $6,000 type thing. You know what I'm saying? So that, I just wanted to take a quick moment to explain that. Marketing on Facebook and the ROAS is so subjective and it's so hard to track. It really is, because a lot of the models that we see out there for people that claim these big numbers is because they're upselling when they get to the customer's house, right? And so that goes back to the offer that you're giving to your customers. We're doing a free logo touch-up, right? You can see free logo. We've suggested in the past to some people that, hey, and I'm just going to use a cleaning, if you're an electrician, if you're HVAC, whatever, you can offer certain consulting or certain free estimate or free quote. And a lot of people go, well, I don't want to do that because what if they don't book? That's not the whole point. You're investing time to get into this person, in front of this person, where they can talk to you, they can shake your hand, they can see how you arrive, you get to leave your material with them, you get their contact information. Yeah, maybe you don't close the job right there, but they remember you and they appreciate that you came out. Most are going to be like that. You'll have the occasional idiot, right, that is unappreciative and doesn't care, but that's just part of life, right? And you're just as understanding as you can be, as understanding as possible, and that's it. But who's to say that they don't book for the week later? Or you can easily call them back up, and it's a lot easier to talk to them. Hey, I just want to let you know, Jan, this is Marcus with HVAC Pros, and we came out to your house a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's easier to market to them again because they know who you are. They're going to remember you because you were in their house. You had a conversation with them. You built a relationship, right? And in the service business, relationships are very, very important, as most of you know. So again, I'm a broken record, and I say this every time in my videos, but it's absolutely crucial that people understand that our ROAS, when these companies are claiming that they're getting these ridiculous ROAS, most of it, and I'm not saying it's not possible, but most of it is because they're coming in with a really low offer where people are like, fuck yeah, come on out, let's do this shit, But when the owner gets to the customer's house, they're upselling like crazy. Like, hey, do this, we need to do this, do that, which is a fine strategy, absolutely fine. But just make sure you upsell in the right way so you're helping the customer and you're improving their life, not just because you want to fucking make extra $2,000 or extra $600, because that's going to leave a bad taste. They're probably not going to hire you again. You're running the risk of getting a bad review, and you don't want that. You want to have repeat customers. So upsell to where you can, but ultimately, that's why I like running free stuff, like you write a free logo touch or even a free estimate, even if it's a residential, where a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do that. And it's like, I know you don't want to. Nobody really wants to do it, right? But it's important because even though it costs you time and it costs you money, it brings value to the customer, and the customer gets a chance to interact with you, right? Just like these videos that I do, you associate me as, kind of being the head of the company per se, like that. And it helps you feel comfortable that, hey, that our team and our infrastructure and knowledge, we're going to tell you how it is, right? If you think something is an amazing idea and our team looks at it and like the majority of our team says, no, that's really not a good idea because of objective A, B, and C, we'll come back and tell you that. We're not those types of people like, oh, yeah, we'll do what you want. There's no point. We want to help entrepreneurs grow their business the right way. And in order to do that, you need to be aware. Right? And our tagline, awareness brings growth. When we become aware of what we're doing personally, professionally, spiritually, whatever it is, you can change, you can improve things, right? So awareness does bring growth and stepping out of your comfort zone. So, again, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Don't get so caught up in the ROAS. Understand that It takes time to build this up. The election's just finished. You're going to see a big drop in ads and not ad spend. The cost per result, like this section here. You're going to see the cost per result go down a lot, and you're going to see. One second. Let me go back to performance and clicks. You're going to see a lot of the. You're going to see the cost per 1,000 impressions drop like crazy, because there were millions of dollars being spent daily for months for the political campaign. So like the best time right now is to advertise on Facebook, because the costs are going to go down incredibly. And yeah, so remember, ROAS is taken, it's subjective. If you're $100 and over, it's going to take longer, right? And then there was an interesting thing too. I know I refer to Ben Heath a lot because he's really helped me a lot. I took a consulting session with him. He's probably one of the most best objective Facebook ad marketers out there, and you can clearly see it's reflected in our results here, because everything that I pretty much learned was from him. And he sent out a video today. Definitely check him out, right? Is he a competitor? Sure, I guess, but there's so much business for everybody, and there's so many great things that we can all help each other, so I have no issue giving him credit and recognizing that Ben Heath. Check him out on YouTube. Real great guy. Amazing, amazing. Anyways, he sent out a video today, and he was kind of talking about like the ad copy and the different texts and stuff like that, and things that we've been doing without me not even realizing it. And I think this applies to other service businesses too. And he has specifically said something about 7 keys to success for service businesses. And one of the things he kind of talked about is, getting yourself in front of the camera, right? So I know we've been trying to, before even sent this video out, I've been telling some of our customers that they need to put the camera on their face and talk, right? If you're selling HVAC, if you're selling carpet cleaning service or plumbing or what have you, talk. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm talking. And you're able to see who I am, you're able to see our company and what we do. And it just helps to build that trust. And especially with, let's say, a cleaning business or even a business that you have to physically go into somebody's house. Look, we have COVID, right? People's health are at risk. People unfortunately are dying every day from it. And if you're a business that depends on going into someone's home to perform the service that you offer to them, put your face out there. I know it's scary. You can feel kind of timid, but hey, as long as you're you and people should see that you actually care, which, hopefully genuinely care about the health of your customers, then there's a higher likelihood that they're going to feel safe to let you come into their house, right? You're wearing your mask. And again, this isn't a debate. Should we wear masks? Should we not? Is it a hoax? That's not the point. The whole point is there are people dying from COVID. We're in a pandemic. You're going into people's houses. Or do you care about your customers? If you do, make them understand that. Even record a video with a face mask on. Show that you actually care. And if you don't care, then don't record with the mask on. But this isn't the point of the video here. The whole point is people want to see your face. So if you're a service business, and especially going into places of people's homes in the times like these, I think it's really, really important that you do a Facebook ad video. And not only just like before and afters, right? Before and after, whether you're HVAC, electrical, or case study or testimony, but like just talk about what you do. Introduce yourself, what your business does, why you're the best, how you can help them save money, how you can help them reduce health issues by cleaning, whatever the case is going to be, right? So please, folks, take this into consideration. Think about it. We're in a digital age. Everyone's working from home. It's not as easy as it used to be in terms of, I don't want to say easy. It's been limited because of this COVID, right? So going to people's houses, and it's just riskier and things like that, right? So use the tools that we have available. Do videos. Let people put a face to your actual company. You can have nice branding and all that stuff is really great, but people still need to see your face. So they know that you're the person that captains the ship, and they ultimately can feel comfortable that you and your team or your techs or your installers or whatever business that you're doing can come in and they can feel confident that you're going to do a great job, right? You're not going to steal anything. You're not going to break anything. You take extra care. You care about their health. People need to see this stuff. They need to hear this stuff, right? And hopefully all of you service business people do these types of things, right? You're not just in it to get rich or make money, right? But you're generally there to help improve the lives of your customers with whatever service that you provide. So yeah, I just want to touch upon that real quick. And then, again, the offline stuff. I know I hit it in my last video, but for these, start working the offline stuff. You have door hangers, you have EDDM campaigns, right? An EDDM campaign isn't just sending one EDDM postcard to 3,000 people in your neighborhood and then be like, what the fuck? I got a shitty return on investment. Well, it's because you have to do a series of these things, right? You have to bring them through the buyer's journey. You have the awareness stage, you have the consideration stage, and you have the conversion stage, right? So 2 to 3 each thing. So this is spread out over 8 to 12 weeks. People need to repeatedly see your stuff over and over and over again, not just a one-off, right? And make sure you're using your MailChimp, your Constant Contact, we use something called Active Campaign. It does automations. I know there's softwares out there like for online booking service. You can do, send out the SMSs. You can send out emails. Whatever software you're using, you need to begin to use these automations and making sure that you provide relevant and educational content that goes beyond just here's a discount, here, book me again, whatever, right? Keep these people informed, keep these people educated on why they need to continue to use your service over time, because it's going to help them benefit from A, B, C, D. We see a lot of people that don't do this, right? They want to live off the digital space and not do anything, which if you have a large budget, and I'm talking at least $3,000, $4,000 a month that you can afford to just spend on Facebook ads or online marketing or whatever, and you can do that for like 6 months and not be stressed, then by all means, you could probably just fine living off of it. But that's usually not the case for most people. So invest the time to have that hybrid stuff. Where I'm actually working on with our team here to run we're not going to do a national campaign because that would be really expensive. We're going to target a couple of the main cities and stuff. We're going to do maybe like an EDDM thing, right? And we're going to talk about our branding, but we're going to be doing 6 to 7 of these different things. But there's a lot of thinking behind it. There has to be the right message. We have to target the same business so they get our stuff over and over and over again. And hopefully, with that type of strategic and intelligent approach, we'll see a higher return than if we just sent out one EDDM to 3,000 businesses in 2 major cities and just hope that the phone rang, right? You have to actively be building these strategies and providing relative educational content for them to want to just call you, pick up the phone, and talk to you. And see what you're about and see what you can do to help them. So really do a hybrid of marketing stuff. Again, I truly believe that a lot of people are scared. They're timid, right? They're shy in the service businesses. Like what I've noticed from talking to so many different service businesses on a daily basis from many different industries, a lot of them are great entrepreneurs in terms of vision and having the idea, but like that salesy part, getting in front of a camera and feeling comfortable, just being yourself, they get really timid. They get scared and they get nervous. And, I was there at one point, doing videos or public speaking. Like, you always get those nerves. You're like, ooh, But once you start talking, you realize that people actually respect you for the type of information that you share. It empowers you, and then you can help inspire others. So, get in front of the camera, do that offline stuff, whether it's rack card, it's an EDDM, it's a trifold, get to networking events, be responsible, use the mask, things like this, be conscious of other people's health, and use that to complement your online strategies. If you do that, I guarantee you will grow your business eventually. It just takes time. Right? The election just happened. A lot of factors that influence when people are scared to spend, when they're ready to spend. It's the closing of the year. 2020 has been a year that will live in infamy, right? It's, in our lifetime, my lifetime, I can't remember. Like, for me, this is worse than the 2008 crash, and that was hell, right? This is way worse. So there are factors that influence, but if you stay consistent and you stay marketing, you stay relevant to your customer audience, and even going after cold audiences, there's still money out there. Money, it's not, people think like business just dies. It doesn't. Like, the world still turns. People still have money. You just need to make sure that you're there in front of them, reminding them that if they invest into you for whatever service you provide or product that you provide, that ultimately it's going to help them improve their lives and it'll put them in a better position, right? And that's what really business is ultimately about. If you do quote unquote good business, right, is whatever service or product that you provide your customers, it's because you're helping them to become better people in one way or another, right? Hopefully that's the type of business that you're in. And if you're not, that's okay too. It just is what it is. So yeah, folks, that's what I wanted to talk about real quick. Just to recap, don't get stuck up on the return on ad spend. Understand that upselling happens a lot. right? Be patient. You have to continue to market all the time. Be prepared to spend at least $2,000 a month if you really want to see real good stuff month after month. People want these crazy results. If you want that lower ad spend, like the example that I gave to you where, 23,000, I spent only 700, you need to be prepared to upsell like you've never done before. So you're turning a $100 job into a $500 job, 10 times over, right? Or 20 times over, 40 times over, whatever the number is. So just keep that in mind, that if you want to get those high returns, you're going to have to spend money over a longer period of time. You have to constantly market, so looking at up to $3,000, $1,500 a month. Or if you want to be like an upsell king or queen, then you can have a lower offer to get them to book with you, but you have to be on your game to make sure that you upsell like an assassin and you're not leaving a sour taste in their mouth to where they feel like they're bait and switched, right? So you have to justify your arguments in a good way that helps them understand why they should pay that extra money now, because you're actually going to save them X amount of money over the long term. If you can't do that, be careful, because it could blow up in your face. We've seen it. We've seen it many times. So, yeah, and then last but not least, the hybrid process of marketing. Do your offline stuff, right? The rack cards, the EDDM, trifolds, sending out business cards, going to networking events, and then just to go back kind of to the online part, doing your email automations. At least send your customers on per month something. Doesn't always have to be a discount buy now, but a case study or testimony or white paper, like show people that you actually want to teach them about different things too, and why they need to continue to help use you for your service business. And yeah, if you do this, and that's exactly what our company does, and we can see it reflected in our growth. And again, it's been struggle for us as much as it has been for any other business in the world right now. We're in a pandemic, things aren't easy, so we've had to adapt. But if you adapt and you do things right, it'll slowly come together. And yeah, again, my name's Marcus with Awareness Digital. If you can like our page, facebook.com/awareness digital. We'd really appreciate it. We always give a 1-hour free consulting call. You'll have the link at the end of this video in the description part. And yeah, anything else, feel free to leave the questions or comments and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. I appreciate the time and we will be in touch. Thank you. Have a great day.